さてと、ちゃんと配信できてるかな。そしたら2日目やっていこうかな。お腹いっぱい。あ、待って。おお。ロードかわいいな。すげえなんか乗り心地悪そう。あ、案内してくれんのね。くしゃみ。案外短かったね。どうせならもう島一周ぐらいしてくれてもよ。ついでに風脈も集めてほしい。 近くにあんじゃん。この辺。あった。にしても塔でかいよな。これが急に現れたっていうの。また乗って帰るのいいね。しっかり休憩できてことなく帰りたいと訴えてるような気が。ハンサから降りた場合はハンサ牧場後に師団の重牧師に話す。チョコボポーターとは違うのこれ。乗れるだけ、そういうこと。普通のマウントじゃいかんのか。ほどかわいい。畑かい。羽可愛くない？こういうなんていうかこういう頑張り嫌いじゃない。むしろ好きまであるわ。 司法あ、まだ無理だ。See you. ギガントガル再生。あ、いやなんか昨日はなんか巨人石をすごいみたいな話で終わった。巨人石。レースちょっとシューあ、持って帰ってからお、あ、いけたよな。いけないのかな、ぽいな。
I see our taskmasters have allowed you a moment's respite as well. You have to hand it to these alchemists. They are determined to see this endeavor of theirs succeed. I've never been one for blind optimism, but I sincerely get the sense they're close to a breakthrough.
They had better be, or all this effort was for naught.
The peoples of Eorzea, of the Far East, of Thavner, children of this star united in common cause against a dire threat. Yet ere they succumbed to suicidal madness, were not the Telophoroi born of her body as were we? They who cling to life and the promise of the morrow's dawn, against they who desire death and an ending of their own orchestration. The victors of this war alone will hold the right to answer the question of existence, of its meaning. And
Poetic and ominous to a fault. That said, if it's an existential debate in nature, then our arguments might not be as persuasive as you'd think. Fandaniel wants to die and take everyone with him in an orgy of pain and suffering. An utterly vile and unforgivable idea. And yet,
本当にそれが目
and
的か
spat
な
upon by fate and wailing in the deepest pit of
こんばんは、どうも
despair,
いらっしゃいま
who
せ。
among us can say they have not entertained similar
ゆ
thoughts?
っくりしててください。
There are nights black as pitch, bereft of hope, and no words of comfort can reach you. And it's all you...
The more you see and suffer life's injustices, the more difficult they become to bear. Vengeance is nurtured in similar soil. Though your anger has a broader focus, the sentiment is much the same. A fervent desire to destroy others, to see them drown in torment, as you have.
That about sums it up. The will to endure is not always as strong as the urge to burn it all down and salt the earth. Survival be damned. It's a struggle, often close and brutal.
indeed. Well, I, for one, shall pray survival proveth more appealing in the end.
As will I. Besides, our chances are much improved when we've the company of others committed to the cause of life. Our vengeful dragoon here is proof of that.
Venge Dragoon. Oh? Vad kände det med Gora?
What is it? What did you see? Fandaniel, are you sure? If he knows we've been working on a countermeasure.
It holds. The vessel holds! This is the one!
At long last! Look!
Oh, hey,
we
old
have
devil.
finally created a
Welcome to
talisman
here.
strong enough to withstand our experiments.
Finally you've created.
We've named it a warding scale for the time being. With this in your possession, your soul should be completely shielded from corruptive ether.
持ち主をエーテル放射による死傷線から
Afforded such protection, any one of us may approach the towers without fear.
竜の
Thou hast
鱗
mine
で
admiration.
制
'Tis an
限な
invention of historical significance.
エステニアンとかもう無敵じゃないのだないの
I thank you for your kind words. But I would prefer you keep them unsaid until we test the talisman's efficacy in the field. It is for the next stage of our plan that we summoned you in the first place, to accompany me to the Tower of Zot. Should the scale prove effective, as I very much hope it will, then you'll have little to do. But should the effect be weaker than anticipated, I must ask that you restrain me, or knock me senseless.
捕まえるなり倒すなりしてもらえるかな身勝手だねこの程度どうとでもなる
Either way, we are fortunate to have you with us.
Nidana, are you certain you wish to do this?
If others are to trust our creations, then we must have faith in them first. And as the senior researcher, it falls to me to lead by example. But should I fail to return, then learn what you can from this attempt and apply it to the next. Our work must continue. Is that clear?
Clear, mom.
We'll keep an eye on the place while you're away. Assuming Fandaniel is lurking about, there's no telling what mischief he has in mind for us, or you.
In Japanese,
Beyond your
it's written Fadaniel, but in English, it's called Fandaniel. What's the difference?
Shall we be on our way? I'll have one of the soldiers at the hatchery prepare us a boat, and we can set out from the northern shore.
Right.ダニエル。あ、歴史書から取ってたりする。豊漁に気を豊漁を気にそのまま気づかないでくれ。よし。あった。なんでそうやってさ、英雄に向かんでもお願いするの君たちが。やるけど。建物の修繕をしたら文脈がもらえるっていうのかな。待ってよ。チュメラ。一人で戦うのか。やるよ、しょうがない。ちょっと待って。こいつがなんか勝手に起動するぞ、これ。どうなってる？搬送操作機関士。 3番が効かない。なぜ？デバイスかい。やっちゃう。スキルも結構変わってるからスキル回しも変わってるんだろうな。どっかのタイミングで覚えない。さあやな。結構レベル上げフェイトでしてる人見るけど、レベル足りないのかな。昨日もらったコメントでは足りるって言ってたよな。Alright, I'm ready. Let's go. 小舟。これで小舟なの。
We should soon cross the threshold of the tower's influence. Any moment now. It's working! And you are still yourself? Then I'd like to see how it fares closer to the tower if we could.
大丈夫に決まってんだろ。これにはアルバートがついてる。
So far, so good. The scale's protection appears to be holding. If we can just make it to the tower's entrance. A few more steps. Praise be to the sisters, we made it! And the scale has proven itself to be everything we hoped it would be.
急に黙らんといてよ。
Now we can focus on production. Once we've equipped and returned with an entire survey team, this menace will soon give up its secrets.
中まで入った方がいいんじゃない？
do calm down. You'll only hurt yourself thrashing about like that.
Stop! Oh, you can't do this! Please!
Oh.
A little late for heroics, I'm afraid. The similarities are striking. My! Such hostility! Never before has my artistry so displeased. My patrons of old would have positively squealed in delight, though, between you and me, I find gushing praise exhausting. Allow me to tell you a story. Surely you've yet to hear the one about Van Daniel, the sundered Ascian. I inherited the position and the soul of the Van Daniel who sat on the convocation in the time of the final days, theoretically speaking. Practically speaking, that fact is of no consequence. I was born and lived as, well, me. Eventually, I was recruited into the Ascians and imbued with the former Van Daniel's knowledge and memories, but I never felt that they were truly a part of who I am. How to explain? Perhaps if I told you who I was before my Ascian embrace, although that chapter too is a past I've long since discarded. I have it on good authority you've poked your nose into an Allegan ruin or two. Yes? Then I expect you've heard of me. The old me.
Amon, at your service.
アモンってクリスタリウムのアモン
Imagine a nation of
アラゴのアモン
unbridled prosperity. Every need met, day after day of unbroken, unshakable peace. Existence fulfilled and ripe for decay.
You are a genius without peer, Amon. However do you conceive of such delightful experiments? That fool was beside himself with panic when he awoke with the head of a bull. Even his cries for help emerged as so much guttural
アモ
lowing.
ンアモンこれちょっといまいちどっちかわかんないラスボス
The
の
memory of it.
クリスタリウムの
But
2つ目の
all sides. My friends and I were so consumed by laughter we struggled to breathe.
皇帝の方だったか研究者の方だったでかい帽子のどっちかだったと思う
No more than entertainment for bored wastrels ignorant of its worth. My
研
all-consuming
究って言っ
work.
てるし多分でか
But
い
it
帽
was
子のや
not
つ
their only indulgence. For they were ever hungry for stimulation, slaves to the slightest hint that amusement was afoot. Our nation was ailing, but I would see the poison purged. I resurrected a legend. Our first and greatest emperor. And just as I had planned, he set our wayward empire back on the path of conquest. An inexhaustible ambition carried us onwards, always onwards. Yet, he who delivered to us such glory was not to be satisfied.
Heed me, Armon. No matter how vast one's empire, or full one's treasure vault, all is rendered meaningless by... In the end, all is lost.
You know as well as I that the Emperor stands to lose this war, and so I have come to claim you. For while your methods leave something to be desired, we cannot deny the results of your work. And as fortune would have it, the seat of Fandaniel, your rightful seat, lies vacant and waiting. Take your place amongst your peers, rather than die a pointless death amidst the ashes of your doomed nation. Send one of your clones to the Crystal Tower that you might see for yourself. See what lies ahead.
The fall of the Empire affirmed the truth. Majestic and tragic, as the Emperor foresaw. Scheme as you like, build as you will, nothing endures. What is life but a brief jaunt ending in emptiness?
問題はお前の正体じゃなくて、お嬢さんを助けられるのかと。助けられそうです。
So easily distracted. Why, I almost left without saying farewell. As for your friend, you needn't worry. These pawns are far more useful to me alive as fuel for the primals. If you attempt to pull them free, they will die. So, enjoy tackling that conundrum with your comrades. We shall meet again! Not in one of these minor spires, oh no, but somewhere more suitably grandiose. Your favorite playmate is ever so eager to see.
Favorite playmate. Never think about that. なんか今回あれだよな、最後ではないのか。一応なんかエンドってついてるし、ウォーカー。一個一個カットシーンがすごく長い気がする。今までに比べ。大使にお目通りが。またどこぞのなんかあれじゃないの、ゲー太っちゃな彼じゃないの。違うよな、名前忘れたけど。誰だっけ。イノセンスの晩神明か。その名前なんだっけ。この下にあるらしいんだけど、こっちからではいけないんだ。いいんじゃないの。南。下。
A vast rock squats upon Thavnair, and to its stony surface clings the city of Ruds Athan. Ye who enter here are subject to the scrutiny of gods, the gate's most watchful eye. The orb which beholdeth the truth of all things.
怖い。
Pass beneath its hot and piercing gaze, bearing down like a second midday sun. The fragrant haze, a mixture of sweet incense and acrid smoke. The cries of merchants mingled here with lively melodies accented by dancers' feet. Travelers seduced by vivid sound and colors were once swallowed up by patchwork streets.
Brother.
But no such scenes to savor now. To what somber present does that divine eye bear witness?
Here we are, Megadota. It seems a shame to bring you here directly. Under normal circumstances, it would have been my pleasure to show you the sights.
And it would have been our pleasure to see them. Alas, it seems our tour of the city will have to wait.
I'm afraid so. Come, we should head inside.
本当カットシーンが終わったかなと思ったら次々来る。
Your Excellency, may I present our honored visitors?
Ah, splendid. Most splendid. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Ahawan, satrap of Radzatan. Our alchemists tell me your assistance was invaluable in the creation of the warding scale. Such deeds ought to be recognized in person. Thus did I...
A regrettable incident indeed. Her colleagues insist that we honor her wishes and trust in the talisman, that it will be instrumental in saving Nidana and the others. I am eager to hear your opinion on the matter, so let us not stand on ceremony. Come, sit. I think not. This charade has gone on long enough. Show yourself.
Forgive me, but were you expecting musicians, perhaps? There are no performers waiting in the wings at present, but arrangements could be made if you'd prefer.
Nay, he hath the right of it. The time for artifice is past.
ドラゴンなんだ。
As you wish.
さすがエスティニアから。
You travel as assistants to the students of Valdesian, but you are known to me. Even here have we heard of the sires of the seventh dawn.
違うんだ。また違う形なんだ。
I am Vritra, and for years uncounted hath this isle served as mine abode.
ああ。ブリトラね、ここで出てくるんだ。
Vritra, of the first brood, sibling to Hraesvelga and Nidhogg.
I, mine elder brothers, of Midgard's Sorma's spawn, I was last to hatch.
Well, isn't this a surprise?
Lost.
We were told Radzat Han had an alliance with a dragon. Not that a great worm sat in a satrap's own hall.
A necessary subterfuge, as the true tale of our nation history illustrates most effectively. In the beginning, the rock upon which our city is built was home to Vitra, and Vitra alone. In time, the ancestors of the Matanga came to the island and established a foothold. But never did they dare disturb the worm's lair. Next to arrive with the Aura, adopting the example of their Akasodra allies, they too treated Vitra with reverence and respect. And for many years, an understanding between our forefathers and the Great Worm endured. Until marauding heroes from the mainland came, threatening to shatter our peace and tranquility. When it seemed all would be drowned in blood, Vitra himself came forth and quelled the rising conflict. A peaceful accord was reached, and oaths sworn in Vitra's name. Thus began the dragon's governance of the fledgling state, which was to grow into Radzat Han.
But if Vritra is still here, then your position as satrap is just...
A charade, yes. And one which my family has performed faithfully for generations.
Many envy the great worms their power. Were it known that I ruled here, then the fires of war would burn without end. I would not be the flame which consumeth my people. Those few who join me in laying our country's foundations were, perforce,
でもよく
sworn
有
to
志戦争に参加
secrecy.
しなかったの。
Your eye. It was taken.
"'Tis here, buried within a semblance of flesh. The body before thee is but a simulacrum, constructed by the finest artisans of Radzat Han."
That would explain why I felt the presence of a dragon upon our first meeting.
I am woven with words fashioned to deceive such arcane senses. Though 'twas short-lived, it seemeth thy fusion with my brother hath left thee much altered, Estinian warm blood. From the very first, we sensed the nature of one another, yet did neither one of us bare his fangs. That is all I need know of thee for now.
With my secret thus revealed, I have for you a proposal. Not as a worm of the first brood, but as the ruler of Radzat Han. With all haste must we take in hand the finished talismans and breach this foul spire. Thence, should it lay within our power, dispel its wicked influence. Yet even with the assurance of the warding scales, the narrow confines of the tower doth limit the size of our force.
and thus denied strength in numbers, thou must choose thy soldiers with care.
Just so. Yet though our radiant host is formidable, I see a surer path before me. Thou and thy comrades have contended with a multitude of primal beings. Most recently, thou didst cast down false gods in Pagalthan and Cartanau, I am told. 'Tis upon that strength I would call. The Scions have proven themselves the most capable, and I ask that you serve as the tip of a... Talismans would, of course, be provided for each of thy companions. And should you agree to this undertaking, more will be provided to make use of as you see fit.
There's no denying it's a dangerous proposition, but the rewards may far outweigh the risk. Just think of what we might accomplish if we could equip all our allies with warding scales. I worry, however, that even the four of us may be too few for what you have in mind. Might we regroup with our friends first to discuss the matter?
'Tis no trifling task that I have laid before you. Go. Steel your hearts and hone your plans. Such time as you require shall be spent in crafting your protective charms.
It seems a quick trip back to Sharlayan is in order.
Well done.
Whether your request be made as a great worm or the ruler of Radzat-Han, I see no reason to refuse, nor will I.
I am in thy debt.
Oh, 面白くなってきた。正方角。ああ。あ、自分で入らないといけないな。さっき入れてくれたじゃん。今回だ。まだこっち行けないでしょ。だよ。シャーレやんだな。 ああ、そういや、俺、都市転送の展開保してないな。解放しとかなきゃ。探しに行かないといけない。めっちゃあるじゃん。エンポリウム職人都市。モメットじゃん。 か本とかそういう話を聞く限りシャーレアンの人たちってすごい協力的な、世界平和に向けて頑張ってる的な感じな割に週末には興味ないんで、それよりももっと大事なことが世界を救うよりも大事なこと。複雑。逆になんでシャーレアンはこの理由を隠してるのか。ローズ魔法が爆発した。最強の万神が召喚されてしまう。なんかすごくまずいよ。そうだね、君の感想は問えてると思うよ。優しいな、アルビノ君は。週末に特徴的な点。全世界が一斉に最悪に見舞う。直前に大地がなくとか、アルフィの他にそういうらしく。最初からアルフィノに聞けよって。 シャーレアンの BGM の入り方が素晴らしいな。でしたらね。本をそんな置き方して大丈夫？腰痛そうやけど。前にちょっとしない転送も台本をしとく。ビュールテマイトとこれがアルフィの立ち寄り。でかい家住んでる。 まあ、こうやって見るとシャーレンって意外と小さくまとまってるような。今までの都市の中で一番好きなのはいいよさ。楽しい。喜んで。覚えないといけないけ。海沿いの席でティーセット。女性2人オムレツプロ。女性2人の後ろの席にロブスター。ミコッテの男性。OK、任せろ。もう覚えた。なんだっけ。女性2人のにどうすればいいの？あ、まず1個ずつやっていくけね。ここは T セット。スプレート、はい。 トークボイケンシャフスマイルス急に出てくるやん。選ばないわけにいかないでしょ。何ですか急にニマニマして最悪よめっちゃ嬉しそうはい、ロブスターね。ああ、要するにシャーレアン自体が船、いわゆる世界の終わりのノアの箱舟を作った。仮に世界が終わるとしても俺らはノアの箱舟が大丈夫ですと。恋愛相談か乗るぜ。もう乗るぜ。
When our father disowned us, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It wasn't until much later that his words began to sink in, that I began to feel the weight of what it meant. Do you remember when the decision was made to come to Charlian? Graham said that the Forum was determined to keep us in the dark, and that Father's venomous performance was part of that strategy, to keep us at arm's length. Perhaps it was. Father argued with Grandfather on many occasions, but never with such dismissive contempt. And when he demanded what justifies the sacrifices we make in war, I honestly didn't know what to say. Neither did Alpha know, I know, but never for one moment did I believe we had made the wrong choice. So all I could do was fume silently. It was only afterwards that I realized how childish I had been, how being stubborn and self-righteous must run in the family. If I could have just mustered a civil response, then things might have turned out differently. They must be ferrying goods to Labyrinthos. A vast complex beneath the island. Charlian is famous for archiving knowledge from around the world. Well, that knowledge is not preserved exclusively in dusty tomes and desiccated samples. Our living library, comprised of all manner of flora and fauna, is housed and studied within that underground facility.
あんまノアの箱舟。
Still, that did seem to be an unusually large shipment. When I lived here, it was rare to even see such cargo transported by boat. Wait! Didn't you hear something in the last stand about the gleaners coming and going more than usual? Well, I think they're the ones we saw manning those boats. And gleaners answer to the Forum. If the appearance of the Telophoroi prompted this sudden burst of activity, then Labyrinthos may hold a clue as to what the Forum is planning.
これまた体育会系動き方でこっちの方が好きだけど。出ました。拙者ステルス任務なら忍者にジョブチェンジした方が良いでござるか。 随分歩くのゆっくりだね。あ、これはデートなのか。ララフェルより足が遅いのはちょっとよかったな。あ、急に走るの。オッケーオッケー。大丈夫？ここにも直行ポーターがある。この服装にそのカメオにどこの馬の骨とも知らない感じ。あと大丈夫だな。
Deep beneath the scholar's city shines a false sun within a fabricated sky. In any age exist those who consider the floor an extension of their bookshelves, and this vault's architects surely belonged to that special breed. If the stack grows too high, start a new one. If no room remains, then make more rooms. A simple solution at first, and then bit by bit, a profound transformation. Knowledge buried beneath knowledge, a growing, creeping labyrinth from which there is no escape.
Not what you expected. I must admit, the artifice is very convincing. But I assure you that we are beneath Sharlayan itself. The breeze you feel, the flowing waters you hear, all created by the hand of man.
The island is volcanic, you see, and once upon a time this great hollow must have been a reservoir for magma. It was discovered some 400 years ago, at which point it was repurposed as a storage facility for scrolls and samples and such. Renovations have continued, with nigh on no interruption to this day.
Aren't those people gleaners?
Aye, judging by their dress. They are said to work alone as a rule, but 'twould seem that rule is being enthusiastically broken today. It may be as you suspected, but they are engaged in a task apart from the norm.
Let's spread out and get some answers then.
Ugh. Did you call to me just now? No. How odd. I must be a bit dizzy from the descent. I'll be fine, I'm sure. Let's get to work, shall we?
Oh, hello, James. Welcome to stream. I was just getting chill. No. Up.大整理。あばばばば。次ここはマウント乗れるんだね。So I just thinking this place must be a Noah ship of Noah.話なんだ。あ、もしかしてここも風脈あるんだ。なくていいよ、もう飛べなくていいよ。でかいのいるし。倒していいの？研究施設じゃないのここ。 You know, I don't think we are allowed to kill these mobs. If this place is a place for searching, they're collecting it. Gosh. Ah, もしかして、あ、間違えました。No, he seems like wearing pants. パンツ履いてるように見える。パンツっていうかストッキング。いけないで。許して。ああ。That looks like you in real life. Must be, you know, you're a man of culture. I can understand you, don't worry. People wants to wear stocking sometimes. あ、戻らない。いや。ちょっと急に BGM 可愛くなったな。あ、なんか水が敷いてある。いい。で、戻りましょう。 やこのマップも広いな。I said I don't need to find the... What was that? This shit? Seems like I need to. This place is too huge. どうぞ。I did all the fate farming. Took a while, but at least it's done. Fate farming? You mean... Is there something that you can get? I mean, some items you can get from fate? Or you're just reveling yourself? You unlock the gemstones sure when he... Ah, I see. Yeah, I know that stuff. But I never use them. 오, 大丈夫か? 今の倒れそうなリアルだった。うわ、頭が。I haven't ever used it. What? But you said you took a while to unlock that. But you never used them. Interesting. You sure man of culture. Man with culture. Man of culture, sure. And I just unlock the teleporter and I didn't use it. Wow. I'm an idiot. was on our autopilot that thing. I see.でさて、ここに何があるんですか？ You mean this one, right? Trade trade. I have lots of them. Well, you know what to do. Time to stealth. こちらスネーク。潜入に成功した。捕まえとしてんの？鳥。あ、出た。FPS モード Activate。The area in this expansion are massive. Yeah, seems like so. lots of cutscene in this patch. 失敗条件間違った鳥を対象の鳥を眠る。あ、こいつあれじゃないの？クワこいつでしょ。うわっしゃ。Never miss. Too easy.
A fair shot.
You can speak. Know that.
Nicely done. Let me truss this one up and I'll make my way over to you.
There you are. Any new revelations?
So you met with that gleaner again, this time to capture a hornbill. I understand catching and bringing in creatures from the outside, but what's the point of chasing after ones already here?
True. なんでもう一回捕まえてんの？もうすでに捕まえてんのに。
Oh, it's a simple thing, really. Occasionally, we remove specimens no longer needed for study, or those we've had difficulty raising. Safely returning such creatures to their native habitats is another facet of a gleaner's duties. But not in this case, I'm afraid. I've been asked to bring the bird below.
Right? This time is different.
The restricted section in the lower levels of Labyrinthos. Open only to a select few researchers hand-picked by the Forum. The projects down there are the subject of rumor and hearsay. Forbidden magics. Advanced technologies that can never be allowed to fall into outside hands. Even Archons are not privy to the truth. Those who are, the researchers involved in this secretive work, are not permitted to walk freely in the city, and are instead required to live in isolated quarters.
What could a facility subject to such strict security protocols possibly need with a hornbill?
Possibly. I wasn't afforded an explanation. But judging by the requisition list given to me and my colleagues, I doubt it's for any kind of advanced research. I'd be more inclined to believe we were making preparations to migrate to the south. Mericidia or thereabouts.
What? Why would you say that?
Much of the flora and fauna we were asked to procure could serve as reliable sources of sustenance. They're comparatively hardy species, too, able to endure harsh climates. And among them are specimens known to be effective in improving soil quality and purifying water.
When you put it that way, migration does sound like a reasonable assumption.
That's all it is, though. An assumption. Through our tasks, we gleaners glimpse only bits and pieces of the Forum's plans. Our prime concern is that our requisitions, be they living or otherwise, are properly preserved for the knowledge of future generations. Now, I really must be going. I regret that I cannot reward you as you deserve.
Helped me a lot.
Perhaps you might reward us after a fashion then. It is imperative that we reach the lower levels. And seeing as you are already set to descend with your assigned cargo, mayhap we could accompany you as your...
I'm afraid that won't be possible. Once the animals have been prepared for transport, we send them down separately via the lift. I will of course follow after to make my report, but I can hardly pass you off as porters when there's nothing left to carry.
True.
Indeed. Pray forget I said anything.
ヤシトラ姉さん可愛いな。
How do you feel about climbing? If you've strength and the courage to brave it, then there is another way down. This path leads to the 33rd facet, a mine shaft excavated during one of our expansions of Labyrinthos. While I cannot guarantee that the passage is safe to traverse, it should provide access to the medial circuit below.
Must be a dungeon.
I never even knew such a place existed. Thank you. This is the perfect solution.
You're quite welcome. But consider yourselves warned. If the going proves too treacherous, you do well to turn back. I bid you good day.
Good day too. Welcome to Jinlo. Jinlo. Sorry, sometimes I fucked up how they'll pronounce. Anyway, welcome to stream.
Well, turning back is hardly an option, not when we've come this far. Let's go and take a look at this mine shaft.
I smell the fight. It's leading Japanese way. Must be Jinro. So which means where am I right? I hope you understand what am I talking about. Werewolf, wolf. Shit. 下に降りない。Werewolf. Yep, I was right. Not sure about my pronounce, but I was right. This dungeon? Seems like it's not dungeon. Wait, it's Ginro? Ah, so it's a how can I say, Romaji? Alright, then my bad. So there's a J, Jinro. It's Ginro. Right, so let me guess. It's from Stone World. Ginro and Ginro. Must be that one. Jade? Not sure. Maybe I know it. I just forgot. Let me search a bit after this fight. No. I've seen the, how can I say, the artwork, but I never seen it. It must be a movie, right? It looks like a, how can I say, Ghost in the Shell. Or yeah, pretty sure it's Ghost in the Shell. Director made this movie, right? I guess so. It's okay, it's not important. I remember what you pray. I remember once I first found your long PvP videos. I think that was when I subbed to my channel. Yeah, it was me. It's similar. I see. Well, thank you for subbing. I haven't made a PvP video since a while, but I think I'm gonna make a new one once they add the new PvP mode. Come get close to me. Fucked up. And what? Paul has no cast time. What? For real? Okay. Good to know. So Gendo is the main character name or something from that movie?法学170。Did I miss one? Oh. It's too annoying, the system. Say, It was the name of the squad. Oh, I see. I recall. I just like the concept of a silver wolf. I see. Name. Pretty good name, more than mine. Who the hell put name Rara Mira? It's hard to say. How did you come up with Raramira? Do I need to explain that? Well, let me finish this sentence first. I mean, cutscene. Also, when I started this game, it was 2.0 when I started this game, and I had no idea about R and L difference. So I put this name in Japanese pronounce like you, Inro, and I put this name in Japanese pronounce Raramira. And it's kinda, it has, how can I say it? You know, there is a rules. Depends on species in this game world. In Elzea. And Lalafels has own name rule as well. So I didn't think, actually I had used no brain when I put this name. I just thought this is good. At least I was too dumb at the English. That's why. If you wanna call my name, just use L. Same as Lalafel. Raramira. And actually, this grape text is suck. It's creepy. Oh. Actually, I don't need to start Celebrity Saga 3. Start with Fire 4. Still. They improved it. Well, I already found some changes. I haven't seen the patch note yet, but it's, how can I say? Actually, it's kind of easy to play.
Hard to look away, isn't it? But they're more than pretty flowers. Heart blooms are attuned to ambient emotion.
Heart.
You don't seem convinced, but believe me, it's true.
I believe you.
This ashen grey, for instance, it mirrors the anxiety and urgency of those working nearby as they rush to fulfill sudden orders. Intense feelings like those spur the petals to change colour. Bright glowing hues in the presence of joy, dark subdued shades for frustration or despair.
That's hard. Why hard, bro?
Yet even with the collected wisdom of Charlian at our disposal, we've yet to identify the underlying principle. And there are other mysteries besides. Although the flower is extraordinarily long-lived, its low reproductive rate has made it difficult to find younger populations growing in the wild. With too few sightings to map its distribution, and no closely related species to track, we've been unable to pinpoint its land of origin. To further complicate matters, every culture, even dimly aware of its existence, has given it a different name and mythos. Our attempts to study it via the historical record have been an exercise in frustration. As an avid botanist myself, I should one day like to unravel the Heartbloom's secrets. But I'm afraid other duties must take precedence. I will leave you to your thoughts.
Good to know. You? The grape shapes were more broky before. Wait, you mean they improved grape
Have you learned
texture?
aught of interest?
I thought you were talking about a Black Mage skill audition or something. I didn't expect the grape shapes. And it's improved. Oh. That's good to know as well.
A flower that reacts to one's feelings? Strange.
This is all very fascinating. But as it stands, we've failed to gain any significant insight into the forum's undertaking.
Ah, that's why I get it, So Japanese ninja community is getting so frustrated right now because people talking about how can I say? They change the grape texture, but they don't change the ninja skills. So
Indeed.
Square Enix thought grape is more
While
important.
there is certainly enough
more than
activity to
us.
support Erenville's supposition that a priority has been placed on improving food production,
So Japanese community is getting angry right now.
unfortunately for our investigation, these workers were never informed as to how their duties serve the master plan.
If only we could interrogate the forum members directly.
Yeah, I saw that kind of sentence
Isn't that the entrance to the arcade?
on the Twitter.
Look, there. I think that's Erenville.
A little difficult to tell from here, but I think you're right. He did say he was coming down to make his report.
Erenville receives his orders from the Forum. Would it not follow, then, that the superior to whom he reports is a Forum member, or at least a close associate?
You mean to eavesdrop on their conversation? What of the risks?
Ours alone to bear. We won't interfere with Erenville's work, nor will he be implicated as an accomplice. If you're not comfortable taking part, I can do this alone.
Nay. I said myself that I wished to know Father's intentions, and no answers will be forthcoming should we simply ask nicely.
We can apologize later, should it come to it. Right now, we need every crumb of information we can get our hands on. Consequences be damned.
It might be best if you came along as well. In fact, we should all...
She's acting weird since we get here.
Crier?
She alright?
Oh, yes. That certainly sounds like a plan.
I'm glad you agree.
I feel like she...
Quickly! Erenville is on the move. We need to get closer before we lose him.
Controlled or something.
I can almost reach you.
Or she has other plan. I mean, her own plan. Wait. It's funny because the grape texture are becoming a meme. So, literally, Square Enix said they use the quality to improve performance as the launch to movie. And then changing some texture to how they are supposed to be. I would agree that grapes are less important than I'm not sure since I don't play Ninja. Maybe people are talking too loud. Or maybe... Wait.いいんじゃないの？だけどこれしたことなくないっす。見なきゃダメ？バック。 They adjust male BL butterball noises. So they fuck. I thought it's kinda a good meme. I could make a video with that. They changed it so item level from doing the race. Wow. They already opened the new raid? I don't think I can play the raids since I have a lot of things. Oh, Alliance raids. 난지감이와 해지오 오도 오 NBA rock nice. Cuter than Mikote, but less than Laravel's. Rabbit. We said ghetto. Rabbit. It's kind of a problem if you can't talk human language. You only can say Get up. It's funny, just Rabbit. Wait, I have an idea. Give me a time. Is there... Oh, officer. What was that? There we go. usual, guys. We must feed him mice. But not now. Not there. Hurry up, guys. Come with me.え、こっちじゃないの？え、違うの？何やろ？どれ？あ、あれ？オッケーオッケー、ちょっと。オッケー。オッケー、ウェイ。オッケー、レッツゴー。Oh, we got found. No. Yes. That's enough. Oh, hide my too. Sorry. I was too focusing to the music.
I trust you will find your compensation to be more than satisfactory. We wish to make clear that we are pleased with the efficiency and thoroughness of your work. So much so that we have come bearing new tasks in need of your competent hand.
Another lengthy list. If I may speak frankly, the Gleaners have been pushed to the point of collapse by your unending demands. We are not familiars to be exploited. We are Charlean scholars, and we deserve an explanation for this unseemly treatment.
In an age long past, Charlean was charged with a momentous duty. And now that word of the final days hangs heavy in the air, the time has come for us to fulfill that charge. I can say no more, but I promise you this. All will be revealed in due course. And when it has, you will understand that your toil was in service to the greatest good.
Then I will do your bidding. For now. But unless you wish the Gleaners to rise up in protest, I advise you to offer tangible improvements for our working conditions.
A fair point. Your concerns will be conveyed to the Forum.
Well, he sounds like he shit about either. Ribbit. I'm a frog.
I hope that was informative. you may consider my debt to you repaid in full. While I do have my reservations about the Forum, I want to believe that they have our best interests at heart.
He's a smart
Which is why I'm reassured that you're busy sniffing out the truth of things. We can ill afford to place all our eggs in one basket, this master plan of theirs, without first understanding the risks involved.
Wait! How did you know it was us?
If you mean to impersonate a toad, try studying the real thing. And don't try to fool an expert.
A truly expert. I'm still in the fight somehow. Right. By the way, Astra said she wants to sneak peek, but she don't want to being a frog. Not fair. She should be a frog. I want to take everywhere. Astra frog.そこまで戻るね。南220下。No. Big one. Let's see. When do I get new dungeon? 82? Yeah, new skills at 82. Always same. This one. Oh, 71, 73. Maybe it's 81. No? I need to find all of the place. Where are you, James? I'll find you. Wherever you are, I will find you. And I will kill you. Ah, it's not the... It's the main quest one. First. Or maybe... Ah. これは何？クルルを探すの？ I thought it was here. Where the fuck are you, Kuru? Oh, there. Can get lighting maps since some items too. It's yeah, I know. What you doing?
For you. The spell will keep it from wilting.
For what?
She said you would need it for the journey ahead.
From Hydrin.
Will you speak with her now? I cannot hope to match Minfilia's clarity, of course, but...
Thank you.
Show yourself.
Do not worry. She has lent me her body for only a moment. Just as I could not save the first from the flood of light, it has become arduous for me to interact with the physical world without assistance. Though I might converse with you for a time, the incorporeal form I assumed on the ship would be incapable of casting even the simplest enchantment. It is in the depths of the ethereal sea, the place to which all life returns, where my influence is greatest. After Minfilia's sacrifice on the first, it was to the sea, here in the source, where I ferried her soul. I wished that gentle spirit to find rest in the world she loved so well. Her, and another who may yet have a part to play, though that will depend on you. Take the flower, walk free, for you are free to go where you wish, to believe what you will. That bloom will be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. In darkness, seek joy. Surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free, and bear the light for others to follow. Together, raise it aloft and let it shine.
That was all too brief. Already she seems so far away. My apologies if I startled you. Ever since we began our descent into Labyrinthos, I had sensed another's will, straining to reach out. Even with my particular talents, though, I was unable to make a connection at first, so weak and tenuous it was. Once I took hold of that wispy thread, imagine my surprise to discover it was Heidelin herself. Needless to say, it seemed wise to learn what we could before letting go. Her answers were more cryptic than I would have liked, but at least she left us with a guide of sorts, that unusual flower.
Guide from...
Yes, we are definitely making progress.
You can't be serious. We've done nothing wrong.
What? We were just being a frog, that's all. We did nothing wrong.
Master Fortuno, what business has the Forum with us?
Obstruction and suppression, apparently.
Mistress Baldessian, our records show you facilitated the Scions' entrance into Sharlayan by claiming them as assistants for your organization. We are aware of your investigations. After alerting the major institutions to the presence of potential troublemakers, we received word from an Archean custodian. A group operating under the auspices of the students, skulking about Labyrinthos and engaging in clandestine behavior.
Clandestine? We may not have entered Sharlayan as Scions, but we did naught to conceal our identities. Our only purpose in this city is to seek the truth. I can think of no reason why our actions should warrant the Forum's intervention.
'Tis not our way to discourage the pursuit of knowledge, but the timing of such pursuits must be considered, not to mention their potential impact. With the world in chaos, we, the true caretakers of wisdom, have committed ourselves to an undertaking that demands the utmost discretion. And we will not risk its success by turning a blind eye to disruptive foreign elements in our midst.
What, then, is to be our fate? Will you put us on a ship back to Eorzea?
The Forum will convene to examine your case. The results of said inquiry will determine your future in this city. As for your absent companion, he has already been detained.
Grah! But why? Is reading a crime now, too?
Reading is encouraged, celebrated even. Not, however, of the volumes shelved in the restricted section of the library.
Alright. Big points.
Refusing to comply will only make matters worse. Let us instead treat this as an opportunity to open a dialogue with the Forum.
Silence is often one's best defense. I would advise against prolonging the proceedings with frivolous discourse. But enough. This is not the place for debate. The rostra await.
rising stones was on fire and you had to choose to carry Kururu or Tataru out, who would you save? Why do you ask me that? That's painful, really painful choice.
Forgive me. I was careless.
Kururu, yeah. I chose Kururu.
We would have been detained regardless. This way, at least, we managed to stay together. I trust your time within the Forbidden Archives was well spent.
Maybe Tataru can survive with some luck.
The Forum will come to order! This inquiry is now in session. As Speaker-elect, I will be presiding over the day's proceedings. Master Fortuner, would you be so kind as to restate the matter which compelled you to summon your colleagues with such urgency?
As you are all aware, we recently denied Eorzea's request for Sharlayan assistance. Since then, certain individuals dissatisfied with our decision have taken it upon themselves to interfere with our work. They entered our nation masquerading as associates of the students of Valdesian. But these malcontents are better known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. These militants wield influence with both the Eorzean and Eastern alliances, and are inextricably involved with the crises presently afflicting the world at large. Loose in our city, these warmongers sought to meddle with and expose matters of state secret. What are they, if not a dire threat to be expelled?
What we doing is totally spying.
You have tarnished the good name of the students. Galuf would be ashamed.
Galuf Valdesian was never one to forsake his fellow man. Even if this nation closed every door and retreated from the world, he would have found a way to help the Scions, help every soul of this star fight back.
A terrible enemy stands poised to lay waste to all we hold dear. In the face of such madness, Eorzea reached out to Sharlayan, a respected ally, in the hopes of forming a united front. Was your curt dismissal truly the best you could offer? Or are you so preoccupied with your momentous duty of an age-long past that even the end of the world is unworthy of your attention?
Whence came this revelation?
From the mouth of a Forum member within fortuitous earshot.
Then it seems your findings support my own. The reason I visited the restricted shelves was to study records of the Forum's policy-making process. At first glance, the positions of neutrality in war and the accumulation of knowledge above all else appear constant and consistent. And once upon a time, I might have left it at that. These days, however, I am more attuned to the subtleties of governance, and so I noticed something odd.
You found?
From a particular point in time, the purpose of these policies shifted.
No longer was knowledge preserved for the benefit of society. Rather, society was to be gradually reshaped to ensure the preservation of knowledge. The most conspicuous and telling change was the one which befell Labyrinthos. Once little more than an oversized storehouse, an enormous allocation of funds saw it transformed into an advanced research and archival facility. I also discovered a fascinating account on the finances of our Dravanian colony. The settlement attracted students from far and wide, and the connections and tuition fees thus acquired were funneled into further improvements for the archives. Now, there is no question that our nation's progress is tied to the acquisition of wisdom. Nevertheless, the vast resources diverted for this purpose borders on the obscene. But returning to the matter of when, our change in course appears to have been made some 270 years ago.
The very same period when Sharlayan scholars in the hinterlands began a formal study of the ethereal sea. You found something, did you not? And whatever it was, gave rise to your oh-so-important duty.
Mind your tongue, Archon. If you had seen...
Oh?
Yes. We are bound by a duty we cannot ignore. Knowing this, what would you have us do? Abandon our vital work and join you on the field of battle? We will never choose the way of the sword. We will fulfill our mission not through strife and bloodshed, but survival. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must, then. But we Scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Oh, that's the trailer, right? Until our last breath.
Such misguided zeal.
Father, Master Fortuno, I fail to understand the stance you have elected to take. But by the same token, I have yet to find a compelling argument to counter the challenge you put to us in Gridania. Still, in the midst of my uncertainty, I must trust in myself to do what is right, as others have chosen to trust in me. So I will continue, as I always have, weighing the consequences of my every action, and allowing my hope for the future to inform my decisions.
That's quite enough. Have you all forgotten the reason for this assembly?
Skolok Monteshane. He's the head of the Studium and an old friend of my grandfather's.
Honestly, every discussion devolves into some interminable debate. Terrible habit. Let's return to the topic at hand, By their own admission, these Scions have resolved to fight alongside the Eorzean nations against the doom which swift approaches. But there exists no evidence of an attempt to incite our citizens to do the same. Furthermore, while our decision may well have been the correct one, we cannot simply bull our way through these disagreements without inviting doubts or objections. Put yourselves in their place. Who among you would leave a tome unopened if an elder forbid you read it with no reason given? No. If we're to quell further discontent, then we must conclude this matter with a fair and even hand.
Order! We will have order! Master Montaigne raises some valid points. Keeping such concerns in mind, I propose we enforce the following measures. Until further notice, the students of Baldessian are to cease any and all activities within the domain of Sharlayan.
So, they don't kick
You will
out
also
us?
refrain from any further investigation into the Forum's decisions and duties. Failure to comply with these restrictions will result in the immediate expulsion of your Scion associates. Let us put this judgment to a vote.
To get kicked out.
All in favor? Raise your hand. I count 51 for and 48 against. The proposal is passed. Students, Scions, you have heard the Forum's judgment. Pray abide by it, or face the consequences. Honored members, I thank you for your time. This inquiry is concluded.
All right. Seems like we're getting deep raised. But I'm getting too much cutscene for real. I think I'm at list. Yeah. Just finished the storyline. It's good timing to stop the stream. Yeah, I heard, what can I say, good as well, like Shadowbringer story. So I'm really looking forward to it. But for now, I'm sleepy though. So I'm gonna stop it here. Thank you for coming, guys. Thank you for Ginlo. Alright, so see you again in next stream. Bye bye.